members of Parliament, Honorable Mustafa M. Selu, Honorable Nenelebi, thank you. Honorable Marie Kamara, thank you. Honorable Sylvester Boema, Honorable Adama Bangura, Honorable Foyo Toli, Honorable Rukiatu Rosikanu, Honorable Ibrahim Bari, Honorable Daniel A. Bangura, Honorable Brahma Mansari, Honorable Ishmael Sankoyila, Honorable Alaji Kekrasi Bandi, Honorable Fala Tegbe, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, Honorable PC Haja Fatmata BKB Makajoy, Honorable PC Desmond M. Kagobai, Honorable Haja Miata Amara, Honorable Mohammed Farali Fufana, Honorable Tamba Kelly, Honorable Alusan Bas Kamara, Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, Honorable Mohammed Bilo Shaw, Honorable Juliana A. Fatoma, Honorable Momo Bokari, Honorable Emilia Lolo Tongi, Honorable Moses A. Edwin, Honorable Daniel B. Roma, Honorable Mariama Bangura, Honorable Abdullah A. Kamara, Honorable Fatmata Sarah Sukuna, Honorable Bosti Moda, Honorable PC Paul Sakwi V, Honorable PC Kanda Kawale II, Honorable Jibrila Somo Joy, Honorable Mabiti A. Tilobangura, Honorable Abdul S. Marikoncha, Honorable Beatrice Maya Kangbai, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Koncha. Leaders on both sides of the aisle, immediately after the laying of papers, we have a meeting with the Minister of Finance and his team in the Speaker's conference room. Please endeavor to be there. Is the Minister here? Is the Minister here? Can you call the Minister to be here? Is that Cabinet Subcommittee? Are you in a position to take the relevant decision? And would you promise this house that whatever decision you take will be endorsed by him? Are you in that position? You are in that position. Okay. Is the FS here? So are you also in that position to take a decision that will be endorsed by your principal? Are you in that position? Nabomo? You cannot vouch for that. So you see? Yes. But as long as the minister is here, And I think we can still meet with him. So, honorable leaders, please, immediately after the laying of papers, we have a couple of issues to discuss in the Speaker's conference room. Honorable Chief Whip, you are welcome. You are welcome. Yes, proceed.
Laying of paper, the Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, with your leave, I beg to lay on the table of this honorable House the following paper: the Fiscal Strategy Statement 2026 to 2028 in fulfillment of Section 23 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016.
Honorable members, this meeting is stood down for 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This now Komon-Tok, in case you don't know. Oh, yeah. Whenever we pledge with love and loyalty to his sweet mama alone. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salon. Anytime where you pay, anytime where you go, anything you they do, oh yeah, now we for turn up Tanga one, inside Sierra Leone, let one big family, cause no place like home. In case you don't know, this now Komon-Tok. To bring information about salon. In case you don't know, this now Komon-Tok.
Almighty God, without whose help labor is useless, without whose life such is vain, to thy unworthy servants here gathered together in thy name, do most humbly beseech thee to send down thy heavenly wisdom from above, to direct and guide us in all our deliberations, and lay aside all private interests, prejudices, and partial affections. The results of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy blessed name. Amen. Introduction. The honorable members will introduce themselves.
Good morning. I am Honorable Komon, ex-Leader 2, member of this committee.
Good morning. I'm Honorable Salamia. I am Frank Orange, Deputy Leader 2 of the Government Bench.
Good morning. Honorable Bashir Seliki, Deputy Majority Leader, Deputy Leader of Government Business, Deputy Chairman for this committee.
Good morning, Honorable Toge, Kalao District, member of the committee.
Good morning, Honorable Yatabana Songa,
President of the Female Caucus from Kailam District, member of the committee.
Good morning, Honorable Daniel Komon, representing Parliamentary District, Deputy Leader of Opposition.
Good morning, Honorable Abdul Komon from Cambia District and the Whip of the Opposition, member of this committee.
Good morning, all. Honorable Newman Chair.
Mr. Julius Moriba Sunga, the Director and Secretary to this committee. Assistant Clerks, Mr. Mara Komon. We shall leave, Mr. Chairman. I present to you for the third sitting of this committee the following presidential nominees for your consideration. I call you to your right and of Mr. Cyril Arnold Grant, proposed Minister, Ministry of Energy. Mr. David Allen Amara, proposed member, Sierra Leone Roads Authority, SLRA. Mr. Abdul Manaf Kamokai, proposed chairman, National Social Protection Authority. Mr. Manaf. Dr. Susan Ami Roberts, proposed Deputy Commissioner, National Commission for Social Action. Mr. John Vandy Rogers, I will not want to call the other names, proposed Director General, National Disaster Management Agency, National Disaster Management Agency, proposed Director General, National Disaster Management Agency. Sulaiman Bokari Sowa Iskara, proposed Deputy Director General, National Disaster Management Agency. Mr. Gideon Smart Babi, proposed member, Board of Directors, Sierra Leone National Shipping Agency. And Mr. Noah Amadou Ali Mansari, proposed chairman, Sierra Leone National Shipping Agency.
Can you arrange your seating accommodation so you can have the Deputy Minister of Energy to have a seat? Arrange. Just make arrangement.
The Deputy Minister.
Yes. Mr. Nene, come to the front here.
Maybe Mr. Nene has no one to see you.
No. Oh, don't forget about that.
All right, welcome, Mr. Nene. Mr. Chairman, yeah, nominees.
Thank you very much. I really don't like people standing when I'm taking an interview. You don't have seats, I've said the time sheet number. That I don't want you to be standing. Two things you can do. You can either equate yourself with the wall, you find another seat outside. So you arrange yourself. I don't want to see you sitting on the desk. I don't like that one. There are some people who have no business to be here. You have no business to be here. Yes, please, you can leave. I don't want to call names. Don't stand, don't sit on the table. You have no business to be here. Go. Members of the fourth estate, you can have right to stand, but you stand, you lean yourself in the wall. Sergeant at arms, don't be in the hall, you should be outside the hall. Alex, I don't understand for seat. Good. Good. Yeah, as usual, We are starting a bit late. Of course, always we apologize for starting just because you have set the time. We need to respect the time. But as people's house, we have to attend to other issues before coming in. And we are pleased to have you on this house. Let me first start with welcoming my chairman, Jimmy Batilo Sunga of the SFP. You are so welcome, sir. And also my colleague members of parliament. You see, especially those coming from Puyong. This is Zombo Honorable, she's here already. And I can see Science is here, an activist of the civil society, a very strong man. And I can see my minister, the minister with innovations. I thought it was only on paper. Not until a few days back, I was in a meeting. He's trying, we have about a story about Atuda Ayanda Tikoko City. It's coming to a reality. So I was there in the program. He's a good and he's an innovator. So you're welcome. And I'm seeing faces. Is that Honorable Josephine? Oh, you stand up. Hey. How are you? You're welcome. Good. How are you doing? Long time. I can't see everybody. I think I can recognize. Of course, we belong to certain YouTube group. And he's my chairman for a youth group center. And I'm seeing his wife in the hall. Mrs. Kaba, you're welcome. And the host of others I cannot see from this location. But be rest assured that in the people's house, I want to welcome you in the precinct of Parliament. And if you are in need of anything, please don't hesitate to ask we call the security here as Sergeant at Arms. Make sure you contact them or the protocol staff around. Feel free to service you at all times. I want to welcome you on behalf of the speaker and my colleagues. If I don't call you by name, don't take it personal. I just want to start calling names. You're already starting late, but you're happily welcome. That's the most difficult job to do. When you start to call him, you have to complete. But I started with my esteemed chairman, extraordinary. Even the chairman, I don't call him back. But then you can. Okay, we done.
They don't have a chairman.
Oh, we can. Okay, that's the chairman was here. Oh, yeah. The regional chairman was here. Colleagues have intimidated us. Is it Jamaica is here? That would Jamaica intimidate now. The chairman took a bag of the nominee, presented the nominee in front of us. You can just imagine opposition is presenting a nominee from the governing bench. And my colleagues here flanked, and then Abdulkabo was here, Honorable Rekoba was here, and they said, what is going on? So when we started the interview, nobody can speak for a few seconds. And I said, right, okay, it's all about the table. And the man, not only by presenting the document, but in size. In size. When he stood up to bring the document, all of us said, what is happening? And then we said, what? That is Kasho. That is his name, right? Kashoko, the chairman of the West Rand. He is a transformative man. He's a strong APC, but he do appreciate when you work very well as somebody who is trying to promote good governance. I always want to say thanks to him for making our day. So I are all welcome, and I would like to have the chairman in absentia. I recognize the chairman of the APC. On behalf of the APC team, welcome you. We are about to start this interview. Members of the fourth estate, today I will start from the rear. SO2. And I can let premature publication. I have here the standing orders, SO75. I know you are well familiar with that provision in the standing orders. You are my friends. We have been in this game for a very long time.
you can do publication. You are not trying to do mostly of the press. In fact, we pass the freedom of information. There is one, but there are guiding principles that has to do with freedom of information. And we also talk about repeal of Part 5 of the Obnoxious Law, Public Order Act. We have done that already. So we see ourselves as promoting good governance, press freedom. Prime Minister, sir. How are you, sir? Can you please stand up? I don't see you. I'm facing you on issue. How you do? As our energy minister is a very strong man. We interviewed him about some months back. Also, we were intimidated by the lofty resume. Everything there, Bumuna this, engineer this. So he was going to his domain. We are interacting effectively, and we got a lot of edification from him. We'll talk more when we get to Minister on the floor. Today is going to be energy business. We are also seeing his CV. You guys have been consultant before taking political appointments. So you can't like floor. But what is important here is to let the members of the first estate that we always needed to pass information responsibly and make sure that the public consume what they're supposed to consume. So we try to make reference to the SO75. And also, if we have problem with black, you should contact us. If I'm not around, all of us were here. We don't sit here based on political parties. No. We sit here based on people representing their constituents from different localities. So we are expecting new members of the first estate. We respect you so much. And if you think they cannot give you necessary information, please contact my office or the deputy chair or anybody on the panel. They can talk to you. Coming out to real business, Mr. Clark, I hope you have a constitution with you. Today we have a minister coming in. It's a very important thing for us to read section 62 of the constitution. We have approved deputy minister 1 and 2. It's a rare blend of a mixture. It's coming from, based on the resume I read, it's coming from a subordinate role, and it's taking a giant position over those who are supervising it. When we come to that, I will just be reference. He's still working at the EXA as a technical advisor. So I'm pleased for the clerk to read me section 62 of the 1991 Constitution Act number 6 for the edification of the general public and based on principles of good governance and administration. Take your time. You're not going to read it. You already have sponsor. So you will sing.
With the name of the chair.
Don't hold on there. You're not beginning on that to read. We want you to read that provision because we don't want to have everybody when we are in college, we talk about we don't want to forget home administration. We want to have a straight line. Why are you laughing? When we are in college, we used to refer to them as elderly statesmen. Honorable Tonene, who is deputy minister, and I know all of you, I was in college with you. They intimidated us by their age, volume, they are all very tall. I am a stand up, let us see. See, I am, I say I am. See, so we used to refer to them as the elderly statesmen. They had HTC when they are in college. We are talking, what we did at college, we are very small guys, very poisonous. He knows me well. And that's why you are laughing. When they have to intimidate, so they use big jargons. They come to their, they pretend as if they don't belong anywhere. But underground, we know where they are. So we just look them up. We are distributing position, they intimidate us by telling us that by our virtue of our position in society, like elderly statesmen, we should have these positions. But such is life. Today you are under my jurisdiction. So read that provision, yeah? Yes. And for readers who do not read that part. Yes.
With the name of Mr. Chair,
Section 62, Administration of Ministries, where
hold on. We have the number 2 of this house, who is the chairman of the Public Account Committee. Is the name those who are always the only people you don't want to hear here? The synonym wants to transparency, accountability, and also pressure. The Honorable Deputy Speaker is in the house. Can you please give him the mic so that he can introduce himself?
Good morning, all. I'm Honorable Ibrahim Tawakonte, member of the committee.
Thank you. Yes, Deputy Speaker. Let's go ahead.
Section 62, Administration of Ministries, where any minister has been charged with the responsibility for any department of government, he shall exercise general direction and control over that department, and subject to such direction and control, the department shall be under the supervision of a permanent secretary, whose office shall be a public office, provided that 2 or more departments of government may be placed under the supervision of one permanent secretary.
Thank you. We have read this provision because even those who have interviewed the minister before interviewing the deputy ministers, we have also interviewed heads of departments, which we refer to as parastatals. But in between, we have the permanent secretary. I don't know if the permanent secretary of energy, it called me, I don't know if it's around, a very seasoned permanent secretary, placed at the Ministry of Energy, Mr. Konde. I only hope he's around. I've not seen him, but I talked to him on the phone. Can you please stand up, sir? Thank you. Well seasoned man. You are welcome in his house. You have seen where some permanent secretaries, which are oversight functions, there have had a lot of complaints coming in, but we have limitations. So we try to refer them to the executive to settle the differences, Mr. Minister, to be. So there are constitutional provisions which are not even enshrined in your departmental rules and regulations. The ground norm is very clear. So we are expecting, if you are approved by this house, you get in there and deal with the issues precisely. Be a very good administrator. All of you, I know, are actually none of that particular administration. Very good professionals. No iota of doubt in your ability to perform. In fact, what you have in common, you'll all be working around this circle of energy, ETSA, whatever, directly or indirectly, you are contributed to the energy increments we are enjoying today. So we are expecting you, in between, you have the permanent secretaries. There are permanent secretaries who play games. You cannot take them out, but they are the hub of the administration. So the reason why we talk to them already is provision. Is for all the public to understand there is a whole structure in the administration of the ministry, which is clearly stated in the Constitution. So we are encouraging you going in, if approved, that you live up to the dictates of that constitutional provision. So the permanent secretary also, we have awarding of projects or other things coming in. Yeah, the minister will come, or the minister has to need to get business. No. You see, we did not say cabinet minister, they said ministers. It's just a matter of semantics. Today it can be acting minister. The other one is deputy, but he's acting in that position. There will be a time will not be around, the minister cannot attend cabinet. Replacing the substantive minister. So all of them are working on the same platform, on the same plane. So take note of that provision if you have approved by this honorable house. The permanent secretary hearing me from the back. Also, you saw the powers of the ministers, or because of his pen, because they have a very powerful pen, they call them push controller. They are difficult to turn around, especially those like Konde who knows their job very, very well. Konde has been in and out, diplomats, other sectors, energy. Their pen is like taking fire on the mountain. I already when I learned church, the fire on the mountain, church of fire. Their pens, they are like fires. They have it. They put it on paper. That's why they can never write straight. I'm directed. But when they go that thing, they don't go say I'm directed and go explain. But we have them. We do appreciate what they are doing. But we just want all of you to know and understand. That much ado, finally, we are not here to intimidate anybody. We are here for the public. It's a public hearing, so that everybody can understand what we are doing. You people are professionals. I have read your resume. I can start from Sasua right down to the last man sitting over there. I know some aspects of your resume right now. We are dealing with the resume what you have in front of us. And those in the public that are sending questions, might be positive questions or negative. But I'm here as a chairman. I go over and do some consultation, say, okay, we frame with this. So sometimes, as we did for one of the ministers, Mr. Jalo, right? Yes, we had some good interaction with him. I mean, Mr. Roni too realized that these people need tool or something that we have an insight of the energy sector. So it's always been an exchange of views, or sometimes it can be very educative. So we are depending on that platform to have a very good interview. But we are there, questions coming, and these people representing their people. We accommodate them or we look at them if they are really in line with the job description. Sometimes they can give us things that are good for us, for people to understand, and we clarify it on the panel. So this is stage one. We interview and we discuss hereafter. And we see who can present to the plenary and we can do the ratification. So once more again, welcome you all to this honorable house. I'm going to send you all, with the exception of the proposed Minister of Energy, take the seat. All of you, the clerk will take you somewhere. Wait a bit. Wait. We'll take you somewhere and they will make you comfortable. I don't want you sitting in this dojo here. Go up. If you want something, ask here, they can serve you. But non-alcohol. Alcoholic drinks are not allowed. If you want anything, they can give it to you. I just want to ask. Because right now, all of you are normal temperature and pressure. You're not going to ask. You can even have to talk to them. But be rest assured that you can make this one a more palatable one. And by the time we leave this place, you are friends. Some of you refuse to see me, just to say hi. But I always told Mr. Suga, call the nominees, give them some edification. Let them feel free to come. In fact, when they sit here, if I ask you a question, every one of us will not get scores and help. Then if you don't want to answer, don't even say anything, just sit down, you laugh, you smile to me and you. We'll decide that one later. We are not bringing nobody. So we'll decide whether that's what we can do with you. Perhaps you don't feel like talking to us. It is democracy. Let's try to establish that one. Colleagues, thank you for coming, and we start the interview proper. The energy minister take the front seat. The rest of you, with humility and respect, they can take you upstairs. I will do some quick adjustments. Some can come in front, Mr. Clark, whereas the nominees take me of us. Go, if you see that my picture, call your attention, call his attention before taking any picture. Here is a very man straight leg. Hold on, straight leg, fine. Pull up any, pull up any. Straight leg and fine. Good.
Permanent Secretary of Energy, please come at the forefront. Yes.
Go ahead.
Are you Muslim or say after me? I, your full name,
Cyril Arnold Grant,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
before this
committee
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ready?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What is your name?
My name is Cyril Arnold Grant. So,
The minister? You are the minister. The Minister of Energy.
I've been appointed by His Excellency.
Okay, proposed minister.
Yes, sir.
Okay, colleagues, we have in front of us Mr. Cyril Arnold Grant. So can we start? You have your form in front of you, right?
Sorry, sir. I didn't.
The form.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, just put
The
it
vetting
in
form.
Yes, yes. Okay. You reproduce this form. There's supposed to be something below the form. Yeah. So I want him to read that one, but we don't have it in the form. So you did reproduce the form.
I did, sir. Yes.
So there's something else supposed to be. Clark, can you give him that provision so he can read to go fast? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You, Mr. Grant.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, you have to redo this first phase. You have to do some corrections as well.
Okay.
Yes, and you don't edit the form. Yeah. So read that provision. So you have that one which what you can do, you have to do some comparison.
Yes.
Hereafter we do the necessary corrections.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So below your photograph, have you seen any text?
Yes, sir.
Can you read that one for us, sir?
It states.
Hold on. Just make yourself comfortable. Not, are you okay? No, I don't think I'm fine no more. I see one time.
You for them. So make a just.
No, you left for many cars, sir. You left for no more. We are just that many.
Okay.
You want and so?
It's fine.
You know, chief. And so you want that?
It's good, sir. Thank you.
But we black out like this is happening to school.
I will make, sir.
Hey, but we in the laws will go in for me first. I only hope we are not on generator. Are we on generator? I don't really need. We don't on generator. Yeah.
Right now.
Extra is on. Extra is on. Okay, fine. Because we say the man of fear. Read that text for me, sir.
Yes, sir. It states the following. Canvassing of members of the committee is strictly forbidden.
Do you know me?
I've met you, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman.
On the panel, do you know any of my colleagues?
No.
You don't know them?
No.
You met me in what capacity?
I'm sorry. I met you when I was invited for a pre-interview.
Yes, because we are very serious about energy.
Yes, sir.
So the speaker was keen to call your attention to the energy sector.
Yes.
He has the right to do so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we held that meeting.
We did.
Yes.
And that
he
was
curious to know about certain issues.
Yes.
So we were able to clarify them.
Yes.
Just wanted the public to know that. So that was his own question posed to you, but you were able to navigate and the interactor was good. We are coming to that.
Yes, sir.
So did you talk to anybody in terms of bribe, in terms of trying to solicit support for your approval?
No, sir, I have not done any of that.
Do you know there is 24-hour camera system, CCTV in place here?
I was not aware. But...
Okay, well, we are surveillance in and out. So if we are saying you are on camera, that we caught you talking to one of the members of the committee, do you think we can lie?
No, sir.
Sir Grant?
Yes, sir.
Let's proceed. Have you ever filled the anti-corruption form?
I have started doing
No,
it.
before?
No.
You have been a private sector man.
Yes, sir.
But out of credit, transparency, and integrity in the space, you have worked in so many places, more private sector, and architect for that matter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You think about filling the anti-corruption form before taking public office or each one?
I have started filling it out. I've actually almost completed it. But there's an area of my compensation that I need to verify.
Online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We come to that later. It's good for you to do.
Yes.
Okay, I know you saw something. I will come to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the reason why we are doing this, we don't want to. We had a report, and this same we challenge the report that people are using, especially my name, to solicit some bribe or whatsoever from people, especially nominees of your type. So the committee negotiates to give you something, blah blah blah. We are not anti-corruption fighters here, but we facilitate in fighting corruption. So we make sure that we put these questions. We don't want perception to take over the reality. So that is what we are doing. So I push to you again. Are you sure you did not talk to anybody for your approval?
I have not spoken to anyone.
Okay. No, in terms of soliciting support, bribe, or whatsoever?
Not at all, sir.
Thank you. Question 1, bank balance is okay. 2, you said cash at hand, you have it. You have so much money when you came here. You have this money?
Yes, I have it at home.
You have some?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you need some?
I don't have it here, but I have it at home.
Well, you said you have cash in hand.
In hand, it's a figure of speech.
Yeah?
It's a figure of speech, means it's not in the bank, means...
It was with you? Or is with you?
Not on my person.
How did you manage to get 800 this year?
That I got through my salary, sir.
This is your salary. When we are talking about the figure you had or you have, he said, look at item 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have it on me now, sir.
Also, you're saying at the time of filling this form, you
I
had.
did.
Did you share it with anybody?
No.
So you don't get plan for sure. You can need money. Everybody already can support you. We need my plan.
No, sir. I'm not bringing any money down for shame.
I don't know what you want to do. All right. So, item number 3, you said NA. What is NA? We don't know what is NA. Not around?
Not applicable. I don't
so you have to do that correction. Colleagues, it should be not applicable. Okay. So same goes for question number 4, 5. This 6 is something. It's a renovation of 91. I will understand the description. But the right is there actually as streets.
It's a building that I own.
Yes. Can you give thorough description? Don't undervalue yourself, sir.
Okay.
You give description of what you are doing, structure renovating, if it's skyscraper, it's skyscraper. Bloat yourself. So man, if you say where you go take minister position, you wait money. Very soon they will start libelling you. So show the public that you are a very wealthy man when taking. Don't be afraid. So you how did you value this? An architect, are you engineer? How did you value this?
Well, I've done a number of, what they call in the trade a gut renovation. The last tenants there have been there for about 25 years. So it was in a deplorable state, so I had to do a full...
Okay, you don't mind giving us the complete details of this cost?
I can.
So because that one can show in your anti-corruption form since you are filling the form.
I can do that.
All right. You said they have commercial enterprises.
Yes, sir.
Partnership.
Indeed.
Grants and Jones. Rare Lion Bakery. It's a huge one. Is it 1864?
No, sir.
The one you have there, the building. There is a year there, 1864. What is the year?
Oh, 1944.
1944.
Yes.
1944. So you are what? Inherited?
Inherited,
shareholder?
and my cousin and myself are.
You are managing it.
We're partners.
It's called sombrero, So okay, you are. So what value partnership? What are you telling us? The 12 million is what?
Well, that's a value that I've given to the business itself.
Okay, that's the value.
Yes.
You don't mind give me a little bit of detail below in your corrections on this form.
Okay.
That
I can do that.
This has to do with the value of just state where this value. You cannot state everything. That's you business. So this one is in what currency? Is this the NLE or the LE?
It's under the LE.
NLE. This is NLE.
Yes, millions.
So if you talk about the whole currency, it's in billions. Yes.
This is new currency.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you talk about the whole one, it's in billions.
In billions.
Okay, good.
That's correct.
So because of this value, don't just state the others. If you need to have additional paper attached.
Okay.
You're a big boy. Colleagues, proceed. This one I compare with demand. I know you have. You are not able to notice this one. In how much you have this huge investment, Supra 7, that must be the source of this, you must have. This one I'm not going to ask. I'm asking you to provide me how many machinery you have. Yes, you have it.
Yes, sir.
That need only discussion.
But the machinery,
don't worry, you do that one. Okay. This one I get. We like to go, I'm not giving bread.
Yeah, well,
we
get generator.
Fine. So this is what they are asking about.
Okay.
If you talk about investment of said nature, the substructural question coming, you must be able to give something. It's an oversight.
Indeed.
It's not available, it's available.
It is.
Give us details. I also demand that you move back question 9. These 3 questions, they are interrelated. You have established that the partnership with is it Jones?
Yes.
And you are is there as partnership. So 90, don't worry, this is the properties we are doing now. Don't worry. You have shares in companies and partnerships. So state for us.
Okay.
I
thought it was independent and independent.
No, it's not. If you look at the heading of this question,
yes.
There is what we call investments. I'm just trying to make you big.
I understand.
Have you seen it, right?
I see.
There is partnership there, and you wrote to us partnership, right?
I did.
So it's good for you to give us good details.
I can do that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, well, I just thought that.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
You are not under normal temperature and pressure. Yeah. Colleagues, let me just draw your attention to 9. He has an investment share in partnership with Very Lion Bakery, and he did not give us detail of machinery, which some of us are fully aware that they do have. I've compared him to give us details of that particular machinery, even the production of the bread, just the machine. And we are going further on that item number 9. I just want you to take note there. It must be, he stated to us that it's partnership. Let him give us detail of the partnership for our record. So he has to do 9D properly for us. Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Item number 10. You said you have Land Cruiser 2012 model and give the value in our normal currency, right?
That is correct.
Okay. You have never talked about insurance. Let's talk a bit about insurance policies. For your partnership, is it insured in the company?
Yes, we are.
So states, don't worry. I'm not asking you for you to give me details of insurance because you have to produce evidence of that. So you are now go back to item 9, colleagues. You are giving the proper insurance details of this company. And you don't have insurance for your vehicle?
I do.
You state.
I do.
Okay.
So the insurance for the vehicle will come under 9C as well?
You can state for your vehicles, and the one coming for the other one is for investment. I know you, that big business is being insured.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see anyone coming, right?
Sorry.
You did not see this one coming?
No, not at all. I thought it was separate.
Yeah, this one is a good one for you. But of course, it's a premium one. Insurance.
It is.
For the business.
It is.
It's a premium.
Yes.
It's not premium, you are advised to do so.
Okay.
You have to for fire accident. So take note to give an insurance. Colleagues 11, he said no stock. He said it's not available. 12, nothing, 13, nothing. 15. He said you have West Point Freeze 220 liters, cost 10,000, and license. Remember what is the size? Or how many liters do you have?
I don't recall the size.
Okay. I don't know if you don't mind, I cannot compare you on this. I was thinking about what I'm saying. You cannot be using 34 inches in your living room. It's not possible, sir.
I can invite you to my house, sir.
Don't worry. Go look the way you do.
No,
it's not possible. You don't see 34 inches.
Yes.
Now you didn't have Impala.
I know there's television on Impala, sir.
In a bedroom, you get
the other bedroom. I know you watch television.
That you work this week and we know you watch television.
I know you watch television, so.
You combine with 34 inches, only one. Now one you get?
No, one I get. I get other one, the other one on 12, so it's just, I have one in my office as well. But they're both not.
That you get at your office?
Yes, I'm living at home.
So how many inches are
that's a 30 inch.
30.
Yeah.
Why you like small things? Why you like that? You go 75, 65, no. Instagram?
Yes, sir.
See?
Yes, sir.
No, Emmanuel. We will be coming to you visit you. No, you want to talk about energy. So go and increase the size of it. So you expand on 15 a bit. If you have to add, it's a reality. You actually have states. You said you have one in your office.
Yes, I just didn't put it. But the one in my house is a 34 inch. We'll measure the one in my office.
Yes. Have you seen that channel you call Z-World? Have you looked at? You know about that channel?
No.
But do you know ladies like Z-World? The channel where they for watch them beautiful love stories.
I have no idea.
Your wife does watch that?
No, sir.
Instagram.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about it. Right. Colleague 17. He had said something at work paintings. 16 you can add if you want to. The reason, let me give you an idea.
Yeah.
These forms are public documents. The reason why we're asking you to expand on them. Normally, when you do little mistakes, years passed by now, we have dealt with that ones. We used to step the nominee down, but it was not giving us a good face. So we have decided that after the interview, we ask you to do the corrections. Okay. I will look at them before presenting you to the plenary if that is the case. Okay. So we are asking that some of these things that we do, you try to expand on them. Because this way, all markets are so somehow they come on and how we left. We don't want to small you. So that is the way we're coming to item 17. So it might not be today. You can talk to the clerk, you can sit down, you can give them more information. So I can give you and just a lead to what you're going to do as anti-corruption. Anti-corruption, it can come from this document to see if you are consistent with what you have done. That's why it is a title is asset declaration, 90 days.
Yes, sir.
So I encourage you to really expand if you want to. Let people know see in a So 17.
Yes, sir.
He said this one inheritance we have said is state 17, just took 17.
Yes, sir.
The three-story building, this time, this Sorija Street we are talking about.
That is correct.
Good. Now we come to the inheritance. We come to, how did you do the evaluation?
Of all of them, I called a valuer, knowing that I had to be here, and I asked him.
Okay. It's for your own good. So you have certificate of evaluation?
No.
Exactly or approximately?
I have a text that because I needed to fill the form, I showed him the house. He did the back of the envelope calculation and said, this is kind of what I think.
But he didn't give you any certificate?
No, sir.
So you want to have approximate value or exact value?
I can do an approximate value.
So we do these ones and say approximate value. For this one, the one that he valued. For the share, you see the one I told you. If you go to item 2,
yes,
that one is a share. So you see, I told you to display a share under investment. That is share lady.
Yes.
Of course, this is just the land. This also you said shared inheritance 2014.
Yes, my brother.
Okay. Yeah, there's no tenant at all for now.
No, not at all. We're on in the number 2. That's where I live.
All right. Okay. Don't worry. No uniform. I don't uniform.
Okay, sir.
I read your resume. What is your current position at Excel?
At the ministry, I'm the executive technical advisor.
The whole of the energy sector.
Yes.
That's a role presently.
Yes, I'm the executive technical advisor to the minister. I'm also the project coordinator for the Eastlit project component under the ministry.
Under the ministry.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in that position?
I've been in that position as the executive technical advisor since about 2018.
Since 2018, but you have been working since 2012 in the same energy sector.
I've been working at the ministry since 2014, February 2014.
February 2014.
Yes, sir.
And for you have to you have an in-depth of what is happening at the energy ministry, right?
Yes, sir.
What I mean by in-depth, like what that has to do with the energy sector in terms of distribution, in terms of generation.
I do, sir. Yes,
we do. So we are confused now. People are saying we have energies. Others are arguing that our problem is distribution. And they have had a lot of issues about fluctuation, huge fluctuation in electricity.
Fluctuation in electricity?
In the distribution.
Yes.
Yes, things are going on. So from your background, what I have read from your resume.
Yes, sir.
You don't mind telling us what is the present challenge? We are coming from a point, and where are we now? And what is the challenge we have, whether in the generation or the distribution? Before I open the floor to the colleagues.
Mr. Chairman, the problems, as someone would say, are many. I don't think you can put your finger on one item in the sector and say that is actually the problem, because everything is interlinked. You need adequate generation, you need distribution networks that work, you need transmission lines that bring the generation to the distribution networks. You also need the consumers to pay. So we have a system which I can tell you, sir, I think we're all aware of that is very shaky because it constantly needs an inflow of money to stay afloat. Since 2014, we have undoubtedly made some progress. We have increased generation, although the generation that we do now have is mostly what you may term as emergency generation. We have also in Freetown, which is the bulk of where EDSA services. EDSA throughout Sierra Leone has 340,000 customers.
340,000.
About 340.
From your database, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The majority of those are in Freetown. I would say in excess of 200,000.
Okay.
Right? And so the network in Freetown is quite important to EDSA.
Okay.
The network in Freetown, as you know, is supplied primarily by two main sources. When you have Bumbuna, when it's in the rain season, the peak of the rain season, from July to now, a lot of the energy you see comes out of Bumbuna. We also have service through the power ship, which the power ship came in line in 2018. So we've had some generation between the interplay between the car power ship and Bumbuna. We have also, in the last 10 years, pumped in excess of about, I think, if my mathematics is correct, we've pumped in excess of about $500 million into the sector through various projects, not necessarily the Freetown network, but in general, there's been a lot of money spent on the network. But we still are running a network and a situation where we do not have full command of the situation. You will find that in the system, one of the biggest issues that we face is what are called network losses. So there is approximately 50% losses in the system. So for every dollar of energy that we buy or EDSA buys, by the time they come to pay for it, they can only, in revenue, only get back about 50 American cents on the dollar. So already you're facing a situation where government is subsidizing energy without question. So if I could explain some of these numbers, I believe that from 2018 to 2025, the amount of energy that we've paid for between car power and between Bumbuna and other suppliers is probably close to about 490 million. At the same time, in order to pay for those bills, due to the losses, and the losses are caused by human interaction, let's put it there, government has actually spent about $200 million in paying to make up that gap. So we are running a system that needs incredible amounts of repair, incredible amounts of control, and incredible amounts of structural change that needs to happen and cultural change that needs to happen for, number one, people to pay, people not to steal electricity, because there's a huge amount of electricity that's being stolen. There are whole towns around our country that 80% of the people don't pay. There are whole sections of Freetown, for example, where we're doing this. I think EDSA is running a study right now where the losses are huge. The misclassification of metering is huge because you have industry or commercial institutions that are paying.
Just suppose you have used your term, they don't understand that it's commercial and domestic.
Yes.
So if they don't understand how, because the metering system is also different. From the United States where they come in, you know they are different in terms of the equipment you use. The house is old, it's new, it's different with UK. So just you said metering system.
The metering system.
Yeah, just explain for your understanding of the public.
Well, so if you live in a house, everybody has nearly. I mean, so there are two types of meters. There's a single phase meter for a normal house, which is just regular, and then we have what is a three-phase meter for larger institutions. Sometimes some houses need three-phase meters, but no matter what the meter is, you are classified to pay based upon your designation of occupation. So if you're in a house, you pay a certain rate. It's a tier system. If you're a commercial business, you pay a certain rate. If you're industrial, you pay yes.
Okay. Okay. No,
but so the issue there is that there's a lot of misalignment.
So so that's what you are about to say when I stopped.
Yes.
The alignment is not there.
Yes. So
who should pay this and who should not pay this?
Yes. So EDSA is working right now to go around. They've actually identified with the consultants areas in the network in Freetown where they're going house to house, door to door, to make sure that the alignment is there. Yeah.
Before I open the floor for my colleagues so that they can look at something, let me honor your current portfolio.
Yes, sir.
I want to read this to colleagues. I want you to listen. So maybe from there I'll just open the floor. I'm not going to ask you to react on this. I'll just read so that let me go to this resume. Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea Transmission Line (CLSG) project and lead negotiator on behalf of the Ministry of Energy (MOE) and the Electricity Distribution and Supply Authority (EDSA) for power purchase agreement and transmission services agreement, both signed in December 2021. The third one, Transco CLSG, member of the Technical Advisory Team for Sierra Leone. Also, the last one, this for the NCC, you're also there. Yeah. So, colleagues, the floor is open. Any question or contribution? Honorable Aaron Koroma.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I've also gone through the curriculum vitae of the nominee before us, and I realized that he one time headed the rural renewable energy project, right?
That is correct.
And you were the technical coordinator for UNOPS.
Yes.
All right. Right. So my question is, I'm a layman, you can educate me, I'm not quite knowledgeable in energy. But what I believe is that energy or those renewable sources are mostly supposed to be cheaper, largely. But as it is now, when you look at our current tariff structure, those energy that we are getting from HFOs or other means, in other words, what people in Freetown are paying, it ranges between 6 millions or so per kilowatt hour. Whilst for the rural poor are people in the rural areas, those that are enjoying energy from those renewable sources, they are paying between 18 to 21 euros per kilowatt hour. Are you concerned about this huge disparity between the poorest of the poor? These are people that are in these headquarter towns, children headquarter towns, who normally just need energy for basic electric lights, just as I can put it. Unlike in the rural areas, the urban areas or peri-urban areas, where energy can be used for some economic purposes. But as it is, this is the disparity. For us in Freetown and other peri-urban towns, what we pay per kilowatt hour is between 6 euros per kilowatt hour. And then those in the very rural areas are paying something around 18 to 20 something euros per kilowatt hour. That is one. The second question I want to ask is, you talk so much about technical losses. And no one here would dare to challenge that fact that there is indeed a huge technical losses that EDSA or the energy sector is facing. I can say it's a regional issue. Other countries is also grappling with technical losses. But perhaps what I realized that we have not leveraged on is the fact that when you look at the Electricity Act, which governs you, even the EDSA Act or the ETC Act, it talks about unbundling. We have seen huge unbundling in the area of generation, but the distribution has been a challenge. And what is even stopping you to unbundle the revenue, the collection of tariffs? Because you should be able to, because for example, if I'm generating 50 megawatts, this is what I know I should generate. You should be able to do projection as to what you expect to receive based on your client base. You can map these areas like in Vita or maybe other areas, and then I'm sure there are private players who could come and make sure that they handle generation and revenue collection. But probably we know that government is not a good businessman. It's hardly to see government outfits which should be a profit-oriented outfit that normally records profits very much seldom. So how about you also considering the unbundling aspects of the distribution rather than just the generation? Then again, lastly, are you worried or are you concerned about the continuous nature or the continuous reliance of an emergency power to be supplying the city in Freetown? Because the car power is meant to be a very much temporary measure, but today it has become almost like the chief cornerstone or the main cornerstone. Are you worried about it? And if so, what will you do to ensure that we forget about this temporary measure and then rely on a more sustainable measure that will give us energy at a more cheaper and accessible manner in the country?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think making reference to when you're talking about military, there is one of systems, proper alignment, and we said, yeah, that's working right now. So you are just trying to see, you have given data, technical issues in terms of financial challenges we are having. It is now saying, if you government is a good business, all know that all over the world, you are working in the United States in a whole lot of finance. Perhaps involving the private sector may be the end of our struggle in electricity. He said he was very precise in talking about the urban and peri-urban areas, and he even give you the charges in terms of payment of bills. So I don't know if he in that capacity to really tell us a bit about what it has, because involving the private sector at this moment, you don't need to have breaking your head over SO2, and not well connect, or you are going to house. He has gone further. Why can't you look at the private sector? We have heard about private sector coming in. When we had a private discussion with him, that's why I repeated questions to you. And you see your current responsibility on the own portfolio has to talk about the distribution. So you have the floor.
Okay. So thank you, sir. The gentleman had 3 questions. I think the first question, as you pointed out, was this issue of the difference in tariffs between the rural and the urban, mostly Freetown, where you have the EDSA, and then the mini grids. Okay. The second question had to do with technical losses and with thinking about bringing in a distribution unbundling to see whether that would be more effective going forward with private sector unbundling of the distribution services. And your third question had to do with emergency power. How long can we go on with emergency power, and what will happen in the future? Because of course, since 2018, we've had the car partnership. So let me start with the first one. I think there's an assumption that I think everybody needs to understand. When the mini grids, by the way, in terms of mini grid in the region, Sierra Leone has the largest rollout of mini grids per annum in the region. The fact that we put together 100 mini grids then through the RPP program has been a record that has not been surpassed. And I think the mini grid came out of a time when we had Ebola. And then because there was a crisis, it was soon determined that a lot of issues had to do with the fact that many of our clinics had no electricity to fight or to just provide regular healthcare. So when the donor came in, FCDO, we immediately seized upon that opportunity and we worked with them to electrify as many as we could of the hospitals, clinics in that area. So the basis of that installation was mostly a social need. So what we did in those installations, we used the grounds of the clinics, of the hospitals, and we built a generation component in those areas. And then we said, if you build a large enough solar generation plant, you can then be in a position to sell the excess power to the town. So what the premise was, you give the clinic a minimum amount of energy per month so that the hospital can get light, they can treat, they can have vaccines in the refrigeration and so on and so forth. And then the rest will be sold, the power will be sold to the surrounding village. We then invited the private sector to come in because the first wave of installations were built with the funds that the British government gave us. So they essentially became government assets. So we said to them, we have government assets and we've built all of this. We want you to come in and look at another batch of, so the first 48 were built like that. We want you to come in and build another 50 mini grids around the country and then at the same time, we'll give you these assets for you to manage. So we successfully launched what was called a bid, and we had, at the time, we had 3 operators who came in. They started doing O&M on those mini grids, and then they went for investment and built out the other 50 mini grids with investment money. As part of the calculation, the assumptions that were made were, when you looked at, they did an ability to pay study. Now, the thing about electricity is very funny. The moment you bring electricity, it creates its own economy, and people start to prosper, and they need more and more and more and more. And the reason why the tariffs are so high in those regions is because the assumption was based on a calculation of how much power a typical rural family requires per day. When you look at that calculation and you say, okay, if they're going to have 2 lights and an outlet and they only charge a phone, the amount of electricity they use in a month is very little. So in terms of the amount of energy, even at those rates, it will be a very little amount of money. It is when the prosperity starts to grow and people start now bringing, so we noticed that what had happened, a lot of people then started buying fridges, started buying high demand, moderate demand appliances, which meant that the assumptions that were made at the inception, people are not going to stay in that I only need 2 lights and 1 outlet to charge my phone. They're aspirational. So they started buying fridges for business, and the moment you start putting in appliances that make you go beyond that demand that was calculated, then the monthly bills become very high. I should also state that everyone in Freetown, in terms of the tariff that you pay, you should be probably paying to break even. That's why we have the $200 million subsidy over 5 years. To break even, that tariff needs to be probably 2 or 3 times what it is right now. So we're largely subsidizing through government, and the mini grids, the reason why it seems so high, there is actually no subsidy, it's pure cost of service.
Based on utilization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
The technical losses, quickly, the thing about the distribution of bonding, can I answer that question?
Yeah.
So I would like you to know that for the last year and a half, we have been actually being in discussion with a transaction advisor. We've gone out to bid for a concessionaire who will come in, private sector, and come in and primarily run the distribution network. We have, last week, we started the negotiations, the final negotiations with the concessionaire, and we expect further discussions and exchange of more information by the end of this month. And we hope that by the 17th of December, we'll engage again. And I think based upon the feedback we've been getting, based upon where we are in terms of understanding the proposed private partner, I think we'll probably get a contract. I'll also have you note that the private party is UMEME out of Uganda. UMEME is a utility that was formed 20 years ago. They totally transformed the utility in Uganda. We are exactly in the position they were 20 years ago. It's incredible because in terms of the losses, in terms of the tariff, in terms of
so you're looking at the similar company like the
very
African
similar. Very similar.
All right.
I mean, we're happy that the solution to all of this is going to be an African solution.
African solution.
Yes.
So we all have the same characteristics.
Very much.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Mercy, let's move. I will come to you, Honorable.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, thank you, Minister Designate. I should thank you and congratulate you for your nomination so far. For the records, I've just been going through your CV here. I realize that you are no novice to the West African Power Board.
Hold on. I don't make rules and see people flout the rules. Those who are sitting on the table. If you don't sit, you outside. That's the last time I make a rule. You don't sit on the table.
Come to the front.
You have empty seats around.
Come to the front.
I should be when I can take for government in order. So who keep us in Pakush? You who will talk up. I should be all the push now. Thank after one, I'm really forget to put this push and tell what are the ending. So don't sit on the table. Yes, Honorable. Sorry.
No problem, Chairman. Yeah, I just said earlier that going through your CV, I realized that you are no novice to the West African Power Board and the CLTS. That's all. For the records also, I could chair Energy Committee at ECOWAS. I also could chair the Mines Committee at ECOWAS. And I realized that whenever the technical people give reports, Sierra Leone has been doing well. I realize we have been very effective, we have been very efficient, and we have a very good attendance record in the payments to the Ivory Coast are coming. And that is a trend I also want to see maintained. No wonder today, Makeni that used to be City of Light, all this week today we are City of Lights, uninterrupted. We do get this daily on a daily basis. And from the records also, from the energy sector, we realize that 7 years on, just 18% we have been enjoying this privilege. As it turns out, around 2023, 36% energy supply to the citizens of this country. And we're envisaging all things being equal to its parables by 2027, 28, at least between 78 to 80% will actually enjoy life. This is a good news for us. Yeah. My question here is there any legislative framework that you envisage as a bottleneck for us to achieve that? Because it is my hope that we should, we must. So the question is, do you envisage any legislative bottleneck between this panel and the parliament at large can assist you? We'll definitely do.
Thank you, sir. I don't think there are any. I think so. If you come to the ministry and you understand the sector, there is no shortage of plans that have been made for us to get to becoming energy sufficient and make sure that we actually provide access to the 80% of our population by 2030. But I think the way we see this is not only that we get access and we're paying Guinea and we're paying Ivory Coast and we're going to be paying Senegal in some instances or Ghana in some instances. We also want to get to a position where some of our projects are actually selling energy outside. And I think some of the projects that are in the pipeline right now we will have that ability to do that. We do not want to just be a net importer of energy. We also want to be a net exporter of energy. And we hope that when we come to the well with some of these projects, we will be able to pass them through. I was briefly a project manager on the Komon-Tok 2 project. And for me, I think the Komon-Tok 2 project as conceived, even though that there were differences between us as government and the developer, which I think were really justifiable position by government. I think that would have, if built, will be a boon to our economy. Energy is a foundational enabler of development. We cannot develop without energy. And most countries that you see in the region or anywhere, they have to pay attention to energy to move forward. And it's not just energy for light, you have a light in your house. You need foundational energy to move the economy forward. So I think that's where we're headed. We need to provide foundational energy. And I think I can answer the question of the gentleman before that had a question about having had emergency power for so long. We do know that we have the NANS project that's being built at Kisi, which will bring in 108 megawatts of LNG power by mid, or I think it's going to be late 2027. So we're looking forward to that. Once that comes online, I believe, or we believe in the sector, that will be transformative. We also have, as you know, other projects that are being commissioned, or going to be commissioned over the next 6 months. We have the Respite project, which has 30 megawatts and battery storage that's being built in Newton. We also have a project that's in Kamakwe, which is a 40 megawatt, also solar project. And I think the way we have looked at those two projects, they're almost cousins. One of them is a totally granted project, so that is funding from World Bank. And the other one is going to be a solar project that's a pay-as-you-go basis. It's going to be a lease arrangement. But when you have 80 megawatts of solar, and you're only paying for, primarily you're only paying for about half of you're renting half of it, I think we'll be ahead in the near future. So to answer your question, we want to become a net exporter of energy. We need to go out to our neighbors who need energy, but we have to be strategic in the types of energy we have, because obviously solar only is available during the dry season. So we have to look for businesses and importers of power who can use our power during that time of year.
All right, thank you.
And you worry about energy theft and vandalization of energy architecture?
I am very worried, but I think my position is that I do not want to call it vandalization. People not even pointing for nothing no more. People are actually stealing. It is about theft. It's about people stealing copper cables. So when you look at the pictures, when they say it's been vandalized, vandalization means I just put naka no more. I just hit it, destroy it, and walk away. But people actually cut the cables and take them away. The cables cost a lot of money, you know. Yes, there's some instances when there is vandalism, but I don't think anyone has the time to just go to a substation and just hit it and walk away. They're going for financial gain because those cables cost a lot of money. So it's one of our major issues at EDSA. It's one of our major issues, especially a lot of the projects, not even at EDSA, a lot of the projects that are built that are not commissioned, the moment you leave without commissioning, without putting on the power for any amount of time, the cables start disappearing, the equipment starts being stolen. So we have to address that quickly going forward.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
So let's move first. Honorable. So let's move fast.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think what I will echo is the fact that the issue of theft of equipment across the country has been a major challenge. I think it's high time, thank God the leader of government business is here, for us to have hard laws that will address the impunity in some of these areas.
So you done?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was saying it's high time we make harder laws to address some of these things. A long-term sentence and possibly sentence imprisonment as the only alternative to some of these things, because these are national threats and it's something we need to address as SAP. Mr. Chairman, today I think I breathed a sign of relief when I heard of the Bumuna Phase 2. He's surfacing again in the energy discussion. I am one person who believes that's the way to go and it's a solution. I also agree with you, Mr. Grant, that we have challenges in the agreement and other implementation packages. But I am sure totally discarding that project is a challenge. We'll still remain to have a challenge in the energy sector. We need to look at the agreement again, and where there are challenges, at least we face them, and for nation building, we see what we can do with the project. My only concern basically is you've also stated that when you delay in putting up on infrastructures that have been already implemented, it leads to theft, and we see that in areas like Matutoka, everything has been done through the CLSG. You have the machine being, you have all the substations where almost everything has been done, meters have been given, but for over a period of almost 3 years now, those areas have not been put on. So again, it boils down to the fact that yes, we have theft, we have people vandalizing the systems, but also, don't you think because of the delay in the ministry, it is also cushioning the effects of all of these deaths? So what will you do different to ensure some of these things don't happen? That would be my question, my only question.
Thank you, sir. So your first comment was about the addition of additional laws to deter and imprisonment to deter theft. I think we have to. There's an element.
Sorry. Before you end, Mr. Chairman, this one is a bit personal and it has to do with my constituency. The mini grid you are talking about, the one in my own Children headquarters, it has been off for 4 months, and now it is on. But they've put it off again because they're asking the people in my constituency I used to be an MP for, to pay for all the 4 months they've not been on for. And this is a challenge, and people are saying, no, we should not pay, and they are saying they should pay. And this is the one done by Power Leon, and it's in Munu Chidon, specifically Bamon Town. So we are in it, but they still insisting that people have to pay for all these 4 months they've not been using the service.
That's unconscionable. That's unconscionable. We will address that immediately. That's actual theft. So I hope that it's not Power Leon as a company that's doing this. Maybe it's the station manager who is trying to fill his own pocket, but we'll get to the bottom of that and address that immediately. So that brings me to another point. Everybody that steals electricity in Sierra Leone is a Sierra Leonean. So I think that's one of the things that we as a country need to address. And I think we are all aware of that. No one is coming to save us in this country except ourselves. So that it's not just, I don't have all the answers, neither do the people who work at the ministry or the utilities have all the answers. But we as a nation have to have a sense of patriotism when we have to deal with the government paying $200 million, which could have gone to education or health, into subsidy. We as a nation have to pay for the theft and all of those things. So we need a certain amount of change of culture. But the minister cannot do that. It's just a comment on that. But let me address the issue about the laws to deter and laws to imprison. There is no shortage. If you look at the Act, there are fines in the Act for theft and all of that. There are, and I think the mistake that was done in the drafting was, I think they used a particular amount in determining the amount of the fine. So indeed, that has to be revisited and redrafted so that it is always current in terms of the amount of the payback that's required. We've also advocated for the establishment of a fast-track court. Because what happens when someone steals and they have connections and they have somewhere else, then the phone calls start coming in. And before you realize it, the person that's held at CID is free. We cannot tolerate that. And also, because the cases take so long, we cannot put all of these electricity theft cases into the normal system. So we advocated for a fast-track court to address these issues.
All right, I think you have a fair knowledge of how do we try to review the penalties. And I believe you have to have a look at it once more with your team if approved by the House. So you have a more structured one.
Yes.
I think there are more you need to do to us that these guys every day they are innovating. So you also innovate your findings.
We will.
Yeah, so just take that at least you have the fair view of what you are envisaging. Fast track court, as for the NACIT, is working right now, and for every judiciary they have open up fast track court to address most of the push is one, they are succeeding. So the idea, I'm happy here, you have your ministers here, they're the policy carrier. So when you are approved now, you sit with them, you have 2 deputy ministers, if approved, you now have the guideline of distribution. So you will deal with this business. I like the way you address the issue of organization and issue of theft. It's clear. Yeah. This is a public hearing, your lives on screen, you are seeing you. Any other question? I think we have to. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I love the sitting posture of your 2 deputies.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, when we took over in 2018, we inherited emergency power, and 2025 we're still working with emergency power. And I noticed Mr. Kant has been around the Ministry of Energy for quite some time. Let me take you to Bumbu Phase 2. You served as project manager, and sometimes 2017, we passed the agreement of the Bumbu Phase 2. And 8 years down the line, we're still struggling with the Bumbu Phase 2. What's the status of the agreement that was passed by this parliament?
So in 2017, I think it was ratified.
Yes, it was ratified.
It was ratified in Parliament.
Yes.
And I think one of the issues, it was a win for Sierra Leone. But the devil, as they say, is in the details. That project, when it started, in terms of its estimate cost, was, as you know, was about $650 million. By the time we got to 2021, 22, they were saying it's going to cost $1.1 billion.
Apart from what we ratified.
Sorry?
We ratified 700.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
You did. But they came back and said, oh, COVID and Ebola, whatever it was, they're saying, based upon the new calculations, in fact, that cost had risen to $1.1 billion. If at $1.1 billion, sir, for 143 megawatts, we will be the laughing stock of the world, because at 143 megawatts, Guinea builds 500 megawatts, 500 megawatts dams in 5 to 6 years. We are in, I think we're about to go to arbitration in London. I don't know the details. I'm no longer in the middle of that project. There were some circumstances that I had to leave. So I handed over that portfolio to other members of the ministry because of my position against the developers. But I believe that the developer had come back and said, oh, if we want to get back our rights to the project, we need to pay them $90 million. And of course, you know my position on that. We're not paying them a cent. We need to make sure
So
that
they are holding us to answer.
well, we will see now that I'm here.
At this moment.
Then at this moment, but now that I'm here, I'll be able to face them across the board and let them know, in certain terms. They don't have a case, and we've said that over and over again. It's only threats. If we go to arbitration, we'll win.
All right, okay. I think everybody.
I don't.
Hold on, please.
Yes. I know.
Go to another question.
I know why I raised that question. I was in this parliament.
When you ratified?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
I am now exonerated because we said it. We said it in this parliament.
We have a review of that project.
Second. Second. Second, I noticed you are
This now Komon-Tok, in case you don't know. Oh yeah. Whenever we pledge with love and loyalty to his sweet, sweet mamas alone. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salon. Anytime where you stay, anytime where you go, anything you they do, oh yeah, now we for turn up Tanga one, inside Sierra Leone, let one big family, cause no place like home. In case you don't know, this not Komon-Tok, where they bring information about salon. In case you don't know,